Alright guys, today marks the 7th year death anniversary of the English singer Joe Cocker. So eventually guys, now it is a good time to tell the story because I just saw on the Twitter page that we remember Joe Cocker for death until 2014. So eventually today I'll be telling the story about Joe Cocker. But let's begin anyways. Joe Cocker, or John Robert Cocker, was born on May 20th, 1944 at Tasker Road in Crookshanfield in England. He was the son of the civil servant Harold Norman Cocker. At the time, during the son's birth, he was serving as an airman in the Royal Force. And magically, according to his family stories, Cocker had received the new name of Joe for playing a childhood game called Cowboy Joe from a local window cleaner called Joe. Cocker's main musical influence were Ray Charles and Lonnie Donegan. Cocker's first singing appearance was at just 12 years old when his older brother Victor invited him to a gig for Shuffle Groom. And now, the Cavaliers broke up before Cocker left school to become a Puritan gaslighter. So eventually, Cocker was not related to the Sheffield below, the musician Jarvis Cocker. Particularly in Australia, where Jarvis Cocker's father was presented Matt Cocker, allowed that he was believed to be Joe's brother. Although Joe was a friend of the family, he even did some babysitting for Jarvis when he was an infant. So eventually, there were lots of songs that Joe Cocker actually sang. With a Little Help from My Friends, which was actually recorded by him, but that song apparently was originally recorded by the Beatles. So what I was gonna say is that he had many live shows in 1968, including Woodstock and the Isles of Wight. So the Isles of Wight was where the Who actually did play their song Pinball Wizard. And now that story was actually on my YouTube channel. As I mentioned, I did a separate video on who actually did create the song Pinball Wizard. And apparently I got the answer. It was the Who that actually originally recorded that song. They were the original band that created this song, so that's why. So eventually, Up Where We Belong was actually a song with American singer Jennifer Warnes, who was actually singing with Bill Medley. I Had the Time of a Life from Dirty Dancing. So eventually, in 1993, Cocker was nominated for the British Award for the Best British Male. And he was ranked on the 97 of the Rolling Stones 100 Greatest Singer Hits. So eventually what happened now is that this one was actually from the film An Officer and a Gentleman, which was a 1982 romantic drama film. So what I was really going to say is that this song eventually did come out from my mind, thinking that why would they be a duo? I don't even mind, I don't mind duos, I don't mind like any duos, like Jennifer Warnes, Joe Cocker. There was also one time Cocker was playing an air guitar at Haddonfield Beach in Florida in 2003. So eventually, at around December of 2014, Cocker had died from a lung cancer in Crawford, Colorado at the age of 70, just 3 days before Christmas. He was performing for a concert in Madison Square Garden in New York City on September 17, 2014, with the fellow musician Billy Joel. It stated that Cocker was not very well enough, and according to that, Cocker had actually smoked 40 cigarettes a day and quit in 1991. So this is the same thing that really happened to John Entwistle. So eventually what I was going to say is that John Entwistle did smoke around 20 cigarettes a day and passed away of a cocaine-induced heart attack. Now I'm gonna tell you this. This one is one of the terrible experiences that people would just do. They just smoke a lot. They won't listen. They won't quit the habit. So what can you expect from them? You can't expect from them you just want to say you want to stop smoking. They won't quit unless they will quit, you know? They'll just quit. And now, what I'll just say is that he quit in 1991. We're very happy that Joe Cocker actually did quit smoking, because if the smoke went into his lungs, he could die. But luckily he lived until a long age of 70. Now, that's not very old. Now what I'll just say is actually like baby boomer, because baby boomers were actually from the 1940s to the 1950s. So if you go through the chart right here, the chart actually says that baby boomers are born between the year 1940. So the start date will actually be from 1946 till 1964. So eventually, it's not actually baby boomers, but I'll just say if you look at the chart again, what I was gonna say is that that was the time actually. That was actually the time the Who was actually born, except what I just think it's John. So actually, so I was correct. So Joe Cocker was actually born in the baby boomer stage. So the current age is actually 55 to 75 years old. Now, Joe Cocker would have turned 77 if he was alive today. But anyways, guys, I just wanted to say this before I sign off. Rest in peace, Joe Cocker. Thank you for your music. Thank you for your hard work. And also thank you for performing Up Where We Belong with Jennifer Warnes. She would be happy to be in heaven if she just dies, you know. And thank you for your hard work for around thank you for your hard work for around 53 years. And apparently, what I was gonna say is that I really like Joe Cocker songs, especially with a little help from my friends in Up Where We Belong. And apparently, when you go through the ones which says the singers that died from the 70s or 60s, you can apparently do see Joe Cocker right here, including the 80s as well. If you go to some random guy's videos, you can find Joe Cocker singing right here. But I can't show you the footage. But anyways, guys, this is me, Wheeling the Tomboy Gamer, signing off.